And we said this a couple of weeks ago. I said, watch out for the 49ers. They got Christian McCaffrey. Guys are getting healthy. No one's going to want to play them in the playoffs. They beat down Arizona brutally on Monday Night Football.
That defense is stifling.
Yeah. And they played, and what I like more so is they like the game against New Orleans this past weekend on short rest, coming back from Mexico City. They kind of didn't get it all done, but they won ugly and they won with the shutout.
Right.
And I mean, in my opinion, I think they're the favorites in the NFC. I know the Eagles.
Ooh.
I think they are the favorites in the NFC. I
Eagles,
promise you,
Cowboys?
the Eagles. I promise you, the Eagles and the Cowboys want no part of the 49ers. No part.
Ooh, say it with your chest. Yes.
Yeah. No
like
part.
that.
By the way, did the Cowboys want the Niners last year in the playoffs? How'd that work out?
I'm sending this to my cousins who are Cowboys fans. You guys are going to love this.
Yeah.
You don't want it. You don't want
just
it.
saying.
And I think in their heart of hearts, they would agree, right? Like, healthy momentum, the momentum, the way that we're playing right now.
Just like last year, slow start, banged up, then guys got healthy, they figured it out, and, dropped interception away with the Rams from going to the Super Bowl. And I'm just saying, right now, if I had to bet on it, and I'll have to check out the odds right now. I would bet, here's my Super Bowl prediction, is a rematch between the Niners and Kansas City.
Ooh, I like it.
You like that?
I like it.
I mean, I think there's...
do. So you see the Bills not getting there, huh?
I just think Patrick Mahomes is going to do Patrick Mahomes things like we saw last week, right? It's they're losing. There's a minute and 40 seconds left. I was like, Kansas City's going to win.
Right.
So I'm calling the rematch. Jimmy G is balling. Give that guy some credit. He does not get enough credit. Yeah. And I think I posted this on social media. In his first 59 games or whatever, he has the same record for the Niners as Steve Young and better than Joe Montana in terms of win-loss. I'm not saying he's younger Montana.
Right.
But what I'm saying is Jimmy Garoppolo wins football games.
Right.
And his teammates, who have repeatedly said they love him in the locker room, they play for him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm on board where I want to ride with Jimmy. Like, you can't get caught up in the sunken cost fallacy of the draft picks that you traded away for Trey Lance and whatever. Keep Jimmy and actually keep Trey Lance as a backup and young. He hasn't played a lot. He's had a major injury, like with his ankle backward, his whole foot twisted. That's going to be a whole thing to come back around. I want the Niners to roll with Jimmy. And everyone likes to pick out when he throws a stupid pass that gets intercepted, which he does that. That's true. Right. A lot of quarterbacks do that. Brett Favre did that far worse than Jimmy. And the numbers back that up. Touchdown interception ratio. Yeah. Check it out. And I want to roll with Jimmy. Give me, and not, I mean, come on. He's that handsome quarterback, dude. Like, he's that guy. Did you see where him and I'm trying to remember who else was? I think Kittle was there. There's a few. Just ask Aaron Andrews.
Yeah, there was a bunch of players at the Warriors game, and the cheerleaders
all came over. Yeah,
they were giving Jimmy some love, and it's just funny. You see him smiling, you're like, yeah, he knows he's getting the love.
Yeah. So there's a whole thing about quarterbacks, and you can break down game film and the nitty gritty. But quarterbacks are such a leader of a football team that you cannot overlook just the intangibles in terms of like, do all of his teammates love him? Are they going to fight for him? Is it just like the vibe? And this is like a number of years ago. I think Bill Simmons talked about this, and he said, it's like the car keys thing. Bunch of guys are rolling and you're going to go roll and go out. Who you toss the car keys to? And like, Jimmy, here's the keys.
Yeah.
He didn't say it in reference to Jimmy, but it's that vibe where all the guys love him. look at all the playmakers in the Niners. They love him.
Yeah.
The Niners need to roll with Jimmy.
Yeah.
He wins football games. Also, I gave that stat. He came onto a Niners team that was 0-10 and then won like 6 of 7 or 5 of 6 after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some guys just can win football games and like their players play around them or whatever, or they have a horseshoe up their butt. I don't know what it is. Jimmy wins football games. So I'm all in on Jimmy. I've always liked Jimmy. I think he's underrated.
Yeah.
And look what he's doing. He's top 5 in the league in passer rating. Give the guy his due.
I like it. And you know
not
what?
to mention, I like the Niners winning the Super Bowl this year on top of it because the story, the narrative is too good. Where he was left for dead and gone and nobody wanted him. And if he comes back with Trey Lance getting hurt to win the championship, like
hey,
that's
write the movie
storybook.
Right there. Yeah.
100%. So I like those vibes.
And I'll just say also, I think that this year would be a year to do it because the weapons they have, especially now with McCaffrey, like, it's ridiculous. They have so many weapons.
Debo, McCaffrey, Ayuk, Kittle as an afterthought. And I'll tell you what.
How do you
know who
defend
played
that
really
team?
well? Do you know who played really well in that last game? Was leaving the side Juszczyk too as well.
Oh yeah,
fullback.
Right.
Was Juwan Jennings.
Yes. So
caught that touchdown, made some. I mean, we
just named 6 weapons that you have to cover on every possession, right?
Right.
Like,
we left off Elijah Mitchell too, who got banged up, but he's not out hurt. But we left him out as well. Yeah. But I mean, that's crazy that we left him out. I mean, they are stacked.
Right.
I have concerns on defense about depth at cornerback. Yeah. Especially if you're going to face like Patrick Mahomes.
I was going to say against the better teams, right?
Because Barrett's out for the year.
Right.
But anyway, so I'm a little concerned about that.
Good.
But their defense, by the way, has pitched like 4 straight shutouts in the second half now. So, I like their chances. Yeah. Again, and I like the whole story, and let's roll with Jimmy. So,
yep. No, I think they're. And if you look at momentum and the way, just the way they're looking and like coming into form, a lot of people are kind of taking notice.
It's all about peaking at the right time.